The wild cast of Thor Love and Thunder certainly had a crazy time filming the whole movie. They had so many favorite scenes that it seems like they could have just said the entire thing was their favorite. But for the purpose of our own enjoyment, we've gathered up a bunch of their favorites and some of their least favorites. We think everyone can agree though. The music choice in this one was perfect. Number 1, the Guardian team-up we all dreamed to see again, and one of the best times for Chris Hemsworth to be on set.
It's just such a joy to work with that crew.
Seeing the continuation of the squad all the way back from Endgame felt like bliss for Chris. It felt to him like he was having a little reunion with some old classmates. And these were the scenes in Love and Thunder that Thor could really be himself. Pairing an offbeat superhero with a couple of space outcasts was the perfect dynamic to open the movie with. Number 2. One may think a superhero should have epic action sequences, but director Taika Waititi believes the character should have epicness in a different aspect.
He's got a great pair of assets.
The most talked about scene from the film was Chris Hemsworth's stunning nude physique during Thor's encounter with Zeus. Not that we were gawking or anything, but it was hard not to notice the demigod's assets.
I'm very proud of it as well. I'm as proud of his as he is.
Being that this was a moment Taika really wanted in the film, Chris was all too pleased to agree with him. Hey Chris, asking for a friend, what's your method to get those assets?
Yeah, you're right.
Number 3. As Best Buy falls out of the mainstream, its parking lots still seem to thrive.
We were literally in a parking lot with like a blue screen.
Natalie Portman was stunned to walk on set and see a big blue screen in front of a Best Buy. She thought, where's the punchline, Taika? But don't be fooled, Natalie. He's finding creative things in the most unsuspecting of places.
One of the most beautiful visually scenes I've seen on film.
This scene was actually Portman's favorite, once she saw how it turned out in the final cut. Number 4. Poor Christian Bale has a lot of his favorite scenes cut from this film. One most notable was a lovely scream he got to do in the moment.
Did not see the light of day.
As much as we love the throwbacks to classic music videos, 30 seconds of screaming may have been a little too much on the audience's ears.
Marble way. No.
However, if this bit isn't included in the deleted scenes one day, the gods will have to pay for it. Number 5. There are very few scenes in this Thor that the cast found unfavorable. And surprisingly, one of the most iconic moments in the film was Russell Crowe's least favorite.
Well, we'll see if I make it through the edit.
He seemed a little too chillaxed about the possibility of having his appearance cut, even though it was just too funny for us watching his Zeus interpretation. From an Oscar-winning actor, not being pleased with your performance says a lot. But luckily, the director listened to his heart and kept him in. Number 6. Tessa Thompson fans will know that she has a special place in her heart for goats. And now, she got to star alongside 2 of them.
We did some press with a goat actor.
Her and Natalie held no shame in admitting that they'd pet the prosthetic creatures between takes. And we really couldn't blame them. All that fuss would turn into nap time for us real quick. But the one thing Portman admitted to, and we hate even saying this, is that she got a little too curious and started feeling around the goats elsewhere.
You got familiar with the tongue.
I did get familiar. I mean, it was like kind of the first thing I was curious about.
Number 7. A Marvel actor loving wire work? Preposterous.
I loved the wire work. That's kind of the most fun.
It seems like almost every Marvel actor despises the whole stunting in the sky. But Natalie Portman loved being up on those harnesses and telling jokes at the same time. She couldn't understand why a lot of these moments were cut in the final edit. But rest assured, Waititi knew what he was doing, and he was not so nice about it.
You know, if it was cut, it's because it wasn't good enough.
Number 8. A super duo is a great team in films and in real life. That was the case for Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman, who have been friends for years. Thompson expressed a lot of gratitude for being in those scenes with Jane, growing as on and off-screen sisters in the process.
I think you really get to see Valkyrie find a sister again, and that is exciting.
Her favorite bit was when Valkyrie and Jane had that heart-to-heart moment. A great scene for them, and a wonderful break from all the chaos for us. Number 9. All that glitters is not gold to Taika Waititi. The gold Christian refers to here are the scenes that he loved so much that were unfortunately axed by the director. Although he doesn't explain them in detail, he talks about them being a very collaborative experience with Taika, and quite possibly pushing the boundaries of a family-friendly superhero movie. He understood in the end, and after a great debate with the director, saying, "There's so much gold that's on the cutting room floor, hilarious stuff, and creepy stuff." But that was perhaps pushing it to a realm where maybe it wouldn't have been able to be family-friendly, which we always wanted it to be. Number 10. Look out, Hulk. We've got a real-life one on set, just not filled with gamma or anything. Taika is more than just a director. It seems like he's more of a hyper child set loose on a blockbuster production. He really enjoyed the scene where New Asgard sits in destruction because, well, he had the freedom to smash pieces on set. Keep in mind, being the director of a huge Marvel production can cause a whole lot of stress, so it looks like he smashes set pieces a lot to keep calm and cool during interviews.
It's always good to let off a little steam like that.
Number 11. This was one of the many scenes that were cut during the post-production process. But what makes this one different is that it was re-added during the final edit, all thanks to Tessa. The scene portrays the actors at New Asgard begging Valkyrie to put on another show. That doesn't seem like much of a scene to us, but to Tessa, this scene tugged at her appreciation for theater strings. She explained her reasoning more, saying, "I was like, that has to be in the movie. Having them around to explore the importance of theater and storytelling, as expressed in Asgardian culture. I just loved that." Number 12. You'd think a former Batman actor would have no problem with taking on bigger foes. But at the time of filming Love and Thunder, Christian Bale was not embodying the buff Batman physique.
I'm a lot older than when I last did any big fight sequences like that.
He had just got done filming a movie in which muscles were not to be required, so he was just a little smaller than usual. One of his favorite scenes was getting to face off against Thor for the first time, although he found it quite silly to be much smaller than his co-star. It really doesn't matter at all with the size difference, because Bale was having the time of his life beating up a demigod. Number 13. For the love of thunder, let Hemsworth keep his shirt on. We know a lot of fans have no problem seeing a shirtless Thor waltz across the screen, but for the actor himself, he did not want to have a repeat of that in Ragnarok. But what about in Dark World? Well, he didn't have a problem going shirtless for that film, because he was feeling top physical peakness from the gym. Enough from us, let's listen to what Chris had to say during an interview. This time around, there wasn't one in the script, which I was really happy about. And then Taika said, "No, I think we need a shirt off scene." I was like, no, we've done that. Don't make me do it again. Number 14. Having a bad handle on your superhero weapon can prove to cause injury. Chris Hemsworth may have had a little too much liberty with his hammer swings during the fight with Hulk in Ragnarok, and that case proved to be destructive on that poor guy's noggin.
I think I probably did more damage to myself, just kind of swinging the big thing around.
The way he recalled the situation, or at least remembers it, is that when fighting CGI, you have to make a definitive choice in where you're swinging. Do you think he might have believed the Hulk was on top of his head or something? Number 15. If one person in the MCU could get away with slapping a literal demigod, it would have to be Jane. This scene was a serious one for Chris and Natalie, yet Natalie may have had more fun with it than you'd think.
Maybe I just wanted to keep doing it over and over again, and I was intentionally messing up.
Doing multiple takes of the same slap seems a little extra at first glance, but being that she is a whole foot smaller than Hemsworth makes for a hard slapping angle. We're sure these were no contact smacks, but for Chris, it must have been a little annoying to keep jerking your head around. This goes to show that even the biggest Hollywood productions cut corners and film at Best Buy parking lots from time to time. But this kind of filmmaking hustle really created memorable moments for this cast. The favorite scenes definitely outweighed the least favorite, and if they had a good time making it, we really had a great time watching it. What was your favorite scene from Thor Love and Thunder? If it's that scene, we won't judge. Let us know in the comments.